I've got two of these Festool tapes and both of them lost the ability to retract fully. I managed to fix the first one. I'm going to walk you through how I fixed the second one. These screws are T8 Torx. You've got to flip the tape over before you pull the halves apart, because as you'll see, the hub for the spring is on the same side as the screws. If you can just release a little bit of the tension here, it'll come off the hub. Take your time unwinding this tape, otherwise it can get away from you. Notice here how the spring enters the tape through the back. I'm lubricating this with some silicone before I reassemble it. As an alternative to using a drill here, you could clamp onto some vice grips and wind it up manually. The tighter you can get this thing with the drill, the easier it will be later. The trick to putting the final tension on the spring is to hold the spring stationary and rotate the housing. If you try to hold the housing stationary and rotate the spring, it's likely to come unsprung in your hand. Make sure that spring is fully flat against the housing. I'm going for maximum tension here. I want the spring bottomed out completely. If you've bottomed out your spring and you have a lot more leader than I have here, then you may need to make another loop around, or you may need to take the spring off, rotate it another 180 degrees before you attach it to the hub. Make sure you've got a firm grip on the spring here. These screws don't have a lot of bite in soft plastic, so go easy on them. When I reassembled the first tape, the blade slid in really easy here, but this time it's getting hung up. The problem is the blade is really sharp, and it's digging into the raceway inside the housing right as it enters the radius. So in order to correct for that, I'm just going to put a little bit of bend on the corners of the blade just to kind of point it in the right direction. Had to help it along again here. Remember, the spring enters the back of the tape. Alright, it's all downhill from here. Just back this one screw off about 2 or 3 millimeters. the indicator lines up with the vertical axis of the tape. Give it a few pulls. It's a beautiful thing. Hope you guys found this helpful.